Hello everyone. Continuing the Malice Miser members Iceberg series, this video will be about Yuki, Malice Miser's bassist. Sorry that you had to wait this long. I was surprisingly busy over the last 2 weeks. And by the way, thank you for the positive reception to the Bangia Simulator Let's Play. I think I might make one more video on this game, or a few, I don't know, we'll see. Some of these entries were taken from the new Malice Miser Iceberg, which was originally made by Moss on Twitter, so shout out to him. There's not a lot of entries here, as well there's not a lot of info about Yuki available, and I try to include only the most interesting things that I had found. And before we start, I need to note that the last entry on this iceberg, the one about the Sans Logic cover, is quite disturbing. Not because of anything Yuki did, no, he's alright. Just keep that in mind, viewer discretion is advised. Thank you to Haitani, Mumble Honey, Remilia, Big Buddy Igor and Canary Casey for supporting me on Patreon, and let's get into the video. Yuki was born on August 8, 1971 in Fukuoka, the largest city of the Kyushu island, making him the only Malice Miser member to come from so far deep south, except for Gect, who came from the island of Okinawa. Actually, I'm not sure about 1971 being the year he was born in. The Escape FAQ claims that he provided 1971 in the 1994 Share the Memoir pamphlet. However, taking a look at the scan of the pamphlet, it seems that he actually wrote down 1946 as his year of birth. So I did not manage to confirm what exact year he was born in or where 1971 came from, though it likely was 1971 or sometime around it. Following Malice Miser's indefinite hiatus in 2001, Yuki has retired from his music career. Since then he has popped up a couple of times for interviews, a collab with Koji, and he also participates in Malice Miser's Deep Sanctuary reunions every few years. He has stated that he might return to doing music someday, but it seems unlikely that it will happen. The song Sunikis from the Merveille album is Yuki's sole credit as a composer while in Malice Miser. He also programmed the hidden track Bara no Soretsu on Beast of Blood. Yuki has a Twitter profile at Mother of Life where he occasionally posts happy birthday messages to his Malice Miser friends, and he also posts photos of himself walking through a forest from time to time. Honestly, it is one of my favorite profiles on Twitter. I mean, his posts are just so aesthetically pleasing. Mother of Life is Yuki's handcrafted jewelry line. He announced the launch of it in December 2011. He sold it via Mana's MIDINet shop. As of 2025, Yuki's Twitter profile links to a website abstract2022.handcrafted.jp, which appears to be dedicated to his jewelry pieces, but the site is still under construction and you can't buy anything. Yuki loves chocolate, like he really loves it. He said that eating chocolate is the first thing he does when he gets up in the morning, and he has cheated on his diets by eating chocolate. He recommended the strawberry flavored Caplico. According to the 77 Malice Miser fanfacts page, Yuki's first song, which he composed in kindergarten, was titled I Want to Live in a Chocolate House.
素晴らしいステージが待ってるんで楽しみにしててくださいって。
ね、ヴァンパイア伯爵のゆうきさんからで、それから最後に。
Yuki was the one who invited both Kami and Klaha to join Malice Miser. In March 1993 he invited Kami, then drummer of Nuclear Romance, to join Malice Miser. Kami initially declined Yuki's invitation, but Mana later persuaded him to it with a phone call. In the year 2000, Yuki invited Klaha to provide vocals for the band's upcoming album Bara no Seito. Yuki's friendship with Klaha dated back to at least 1994, as evidenced by an early Malice Miser interview in which Yuki name-drops Klaha, who at the time was a vocalist for Pride of Mind. Yuki wrote the lyrics to Koji's 2004 solo single Memento. The single was dedicated to Kami. After Tetsu left Malice Miser, the band took a one-year-long break to find a new vocalist. Yuki claims that during this time the other members asked him to take the vocals, but it appears that he refused. On YouTube you can find a recording of Yuki singing Speed of Desperate in 1996. Years later, he did do backing vocals together with Kami at some live shows. Yuki's costume in Gekka no Yosukyoku was inspired by Captain Hook from Peter Pan and Dracula from Castlevania. Yuki also portrayed Count Dracula in Malice Miser's Bara no Konrei film. Back in the early years of Malice Miser, Yuki made himself a low-budget coffin from which he would come out of on stage. Early in his life, Yuki enjoyed pop music. He especially liked the singer Tomoyo Harada. He also liked soundtracks from Bruce Lee films. While in high school, he enjoyed the Checkers and Bauhaus. Later, he started listening to Dead Can Dance, Cocteau Twins, Michael Nyman, Ryuichi Sakamoto, and French pop. I will repeat what I said in the new Malice Miser Iceberg and in the Kami Iceberg videos. Yuki and Kami had stage fright, which might be a reason why Yuki didn't continue his music career following Malice Miser's hiatus. They did not like to be alone on stage. According to one anecdote, during a fan club tour in 1999, Kami got scared and ran off stage, quote, leaving Yuki shaking and stammering. Yuki bought a microphone to one of the interviews.
緊張しちゃいますね、目が合うとね、ドキッとしますけど、ほんじゃ、ゆうきさん、はい、マイク持ってたんですね。マイク持ってたんですね。はい、いいですね。はい、ゆうきさん、喫茶店ね。
As a child, Yuki loved Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan films. He was quoted saying, I often mimicked Bruce Lee and I often climbed up to the roofs of the neighborhood. I guess I was very active in that time. He even made himself a pair of nunchucks. He was nicknamed Lee by his friends. In a 1994 shared a memoir interview, both Koji and Kami compared Yuki's personality to Bruce Lee. Zero was the first known band that Yuki was a part of, but not the very first band of his, as we know that he had a band while with his high school friends in Fukuoka. Zero was established in Tokyo in or before May 1992, as that's when they held their first recorded live show, and they disbanded in June of that same year. Yuki was then asked by Koji and Mana to join Malice Miser, and one other member of the band, Kei, became a vocalist for Nuclear Romance, which future Malice Miser drummer Kami was a part of. So I guess this might have been how Yuki got to know Kami. Yuki primarily used the ESP Amaze bass. Before that, he used the Seymour Duncan DJ90. He also had a fretless Seymour Duncan DJ90 FL. At some point, people on TikTok claimed that Yuki had a crush on Mana before he found out he's a man. I couldn't find any proof of this claim, and I don't think it's probable since it was Mana himself who approached Yuki and asked him to join the band. But it's pretty funny.
Oh my god, such beautiful lady, you come from heaven, wanna be my baby, I think I'm in love, I'ma go in, but first please show your bobs and vagina.
Yuki started playing bass and joined a cover band during his time in high school. They used to get together in one of the members' house and play. They were playing so loud that the police came to visit them twice. Yuki theorized that their neighbors called the police on them. They were inspired by The Checkers, a very popular band in the 1980s Japan. One of the band members bought a saxophone, but he just pretended to play it because he had no idea how to use it. In the Tetsu era of Malice Miser, Yuki performed skits on stage together with Mana. On Twitter, Mana described one such skit like this: "Both of us, covered in blood, perform in a skit. We lay the shit on the Rokumeikan stage, and with a device handmade by the Count, a pipe was rigged to my arm, so when Vampire Yuki Count bit my arm, fake blood gushed out forcefully, turning the area into a sea of blood, and the two of us embraced, drenched in blood." There is a recording of their 1994 skit uploaded to YouTube, which I will play it to you in full now because I think it's very cool. Kenban harmonica was the first instrument that Yuki played while he was in kindergarten. It is a keyboard with a mouth organ piece attached to it. Yuki's parents wanted him to get a job in his hometown of Fukuoka after he finished high school. However, he found a trivial job in Tokyo and convinced his parents to allow him to move there. He moved to Tokyo along with his previous band's drummer and guitarist. Since Yuki went pretty much off-grid after Miles Mizer's hiatus for a couple of years, several rumors arose about his whereabouts. According to one Skype forums thread, some of those rumors were that he was either working as a taxi driver or as a stripper in Las Vegas. Of course, there is no proof behind any of this and those rumors are fake, but I found them very amusing. And now for the disturbing one. If you are not okay with topics such as exploitation of children, then please skip towards the outro. Sans Logique was a demo tape distributed for free at Miles Mizer's first live on Halloween night 1992 at Meguro Rock Meikun. A popular rumor within the Miles Mizer fandom, which I also consider to be true and even stated it as a fact in the new Miles Mizer Iceberg video, is that Yuki drew the cover of the tape all by himself. However, this is not true. In July 2025, Miroir Archive found the original image used for the cover, and as it turns out, it is a photograph by Irina Ionesco, a French woman of Romanian descent known for her erotic photography. Controversially, for some of the photos, she used her own prepubescent daughter. Her Wikipedia article is pretty fucking disturbing and I don't encourage you to look her up. Thankfully, the photo used in the Sans Logique cover is of an adult model. Ionesco lost custody of her daughter in 1977, and the photo comes from the 1984 book Le Pachon. It needs to be said that Miles Mizer members probably were unaware of Ionesco's fucked up backstory. You know, it was 1992, it's not like they could have looked her up on Wikipedia like I did. Fuck this fucking whore. Sorry for the very serious change of tone for this one last entry, but you know, I guess wanted to spread awareness of this, especially since the rumor that Yuki drew the cover of that demo tape is so prominent in the community, while originally it was made by this disgusting monster, and that's saying it lightly. And that would be it for this video. As I said in the beginning, there is not a lot of entries in this one, but I hope that you find it interesting. I think my next iceberg will be about Tetsu, and then it will probably be Koji, and then a new Mana one. That's the order I've planned. Once again, thank you to Haitani, Mumble Honey, Remilia, Big Body Igor and Canary Casey for supporting me on Patreon. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.